Hey guys, alright, it's Brett from Iron Body Martial Arts. How's it going? I run a channel here on YouTube, focuses mainly on old style traditional martial arts and conditioning training. Just going to do a bit of a live stream here today before I go to bed, go through a few channel question and answers and stuff like that. And just see what people have been saying in the week. Hold on a second. I was going to close that door, but can't be bothered now. So see what people have been saying, see what comments they've been sending in. People can ask some questions here, that's fine as well. I've got my new little mic sort of system here, which is pretty good. Hopefully don't screw up the sound too much. So I've got my new little mic system here, so hopefully the audio is pretty good for these kind of commentaries. So whoever enjoys martial arts and enjoys the topics that the channel covers, I'll go through a few comments. The recent videos that I've put out is a bit of an analysis of the DKU fight, or whatever you want to call it, that was going on. Let's go through some of the channel comments, and of course we can always run through some training tips, some blurbs and stuff like that. If people bring them up here, I'll keep an eye out for them. Let's go through some of the comments that people have been sending in for this week. And hello to everyone, and thanks of course to the Patreon people and the people who see the Iron Body Martial Arts Iron Hand course. So we were talking about the DKU Bradley Scott fight, and actually someone here has come in defense of, I wouldn't say in defense of DKU, but Naruko 4455 says some things DKU did well was dodging Bradley Scott's punches, because he dodged a lot. Also, I'm surprised DKU wasn't knocked out by how many hits he took, he's pretty durable. Fair enough. Same guy says in the fight DKU's entire strategy was to last until the match is over by clinching. So he did clinch. We spoke about that. And he said he watched the whole fight on YouTube until it got taken out. That was Naruko 4555. Naruko, obviously we spoke extensively about the whole DKU thing. I guess we have to give him some kudos that he did take a couple of punches and he didn't get destroyed, and he did survive. So fair points. There was some issue with the gloves, I know. And there was a lot of issues with the reffing of the boxing and this and that and the next thing, which people raised a lot of points on. But fair points there. He did survive to the annoyance or the pleasure of a lot of people. Like I said, guys, hopefully the sound's good. And another comment from the DKU Bradley Scott, and then we move on to some more different videos. Bradley Scott kept his hands down for DKU and a smiley face by Shelmo Ben David. I'll give that one a heart and a lol. A lol, there we go. So that's the Shelmo Ben David there. Okay, so let's move on down. Will Ashley says about the iron staff training that we did. Check out the iron staff video. Will Ashley says, I bought a 6 foot long, 1.5 inch diameter high grade steel bar. That's 25 pounds of solid steel. I don't know, how many kilos is that? I don't know. It's the same size as my bow staff. Well, that's good. Thumbs up, thanks guys. He taped it up with hockey tape, and he loves training with it, and he loves the staff, iron staff videos. So there it is from him there. So the iron staff training videos, I will keep them coming. It is a very interesting training tool. It's good to see that there's a couple of people picking it up and giving it a go, and also people who train it out there. They have a steel or a solid iron staff, bow staff, whatever you want to call it, and they train it, and the benefits of developing the grip strength, the forearms, the body, the core, the shoulders, just every single maneuver that you make for your training is better. But not only that, is that it just will make you better at all the other aspects of your martial arts, because you're just getting that muscular endurance, that tendon strength. Even if you don't do martial arts really, just in general, your strength-wise, it's a pretty nifty little trick to have. From the trained extensively by Iron Wire Hunghua Kung Fu method. We've got another comment about the DKU thing, because I posted a quick clip, a 15-minute clip that says it was 6 rounds of madness. So from Seraphania Azen, says it was a joke, frankly. Brad went very easy on him and they made him wear massive padded gloves. He couldn't get much power. DKU spent the entire time hugging, falling over, and generally showing he doesn't have any idea how to box, and the referee colluding with him to make sure he got away with it. So yeah, that's funny that. And then someone commented on it, yes, finally. So I think they were waiting for someone to hear someone say something like that. Oh damn, GKU's getting hit pretty hard here. Gnome North of the Wall has a good Game of Thrones reference, I think. Says DK is truly a great master of hugging and running away. That's funny. That's funny. So Mr. Ed commented on my Iron Body Martial Arts Iron Hand course video. That's a nice one from Mr. Ed there. He says, hello from one of your oldest and most loyal followers. I have lunch to grow over the years. I don't know, I think that's a spelling error there. Something to grow over the years, and your dedication and your service is much appreciated. Your exact attention to detail and tradition is something that I find very rare nowadays. Words cannot express how proud I am of your service and dedication to exactness and tradition. Thank you for being on our side. Oh, well, thank you, Mr. Ed. Appreciate that. That's a good one there from Mr. Ed. Here's one here from the Fake Ninjas Exposed Bujinkan Martial Arts Journey response vid. Now that was a video that got quite a lot of attention because obviously it was dealing with the whole Bujinkan and fake ninja thing. So is this quite a long one here? Oh yeah. So Stephen Lowe says virtually all martial arts being taught to the public are fake, in that they were invented by someone who arbitrarily dubbed themselves Grandmaster with no permission from anyone, and are only 50 to 100 years old, yet constantly lie about their ancient origins. Yeah, I know. Certainly within the lineages of Japanese martial arts, there is a lot of making up sometimes, or connecting dots that aren't there, and I'm sure it's in a lot of martial arts. This nonsense has to stop. Either it's all Bushido or none of it is. Respect other people's journeys and focus on your own. 14-year-old drug addicts with trashed lungs who live on ramen and Twinkies ruthlessly beat people to death every day. Fighting isn't rocket science. It's about sheer meanness. Modern martial arts are all about mastering the self, facing your fears, in that everyone has their own path. Stop all the infighting. Yeah, well, I agree with that about the infighting. So Stephen Lowe's saying all this infighting, bickering going on between all the different martial arts. And also pointing out that a lot of martial arts lineages aren't as old as they say they are. So yeah, possibly. Fighting isn't rocket science. Yeah, real fighting, I guess, is visceral and dangerous and damaging. And it doesn't have to be rocket science, but it can. So fair enough. 100 Street Fight Man says nice training on the knuckle Kung Fu bare knuckle fist training video that we did. So that was cool. Yeah, check that one out if you find it out on there. So many comments, just too many to even go through. I'll go on to a topic and then I might go back to the comments. I need to reply to these comments. Apologies to people that I haven't got a chance to reply to all these yet. I usually like going through all my comments and definitely replying to all them and reading them. Brian Keane, hey mate, how are you? I have a vid up on my page, Wolf's Law in your Iron Fist. Oh yeah, Brian. Wolf's Law is not a myth, Iron Fist. Love your station. Oh, thanks, Brian. Yeah, mate, I agree with you on that one. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, Wolf's Law is definitely not a myth at all. I guess with the iron sort of skills training there, Brian, it's our meat and bones, I guess. More esoteric understandings of like kung fu and stuff would also suggest like chi and energy, and there's even talk out there about like the fascia, and this is the fascia is like the layer of tendons like that surround your body underneath your skin, I believe. It's like a sheath. It's very thin, but there's even some sort of talk of that being involved in a way of some things. But yeah, just definitely Wolf's Law. Yeah, I'm surprised how many people don't know about Wolf's Law, about the bone remodeling, that your bones remodel themselves. Yeah, it's an interesting one, and it's how your body toughens itself. And it's basically, the meat and bones of how conditioning works, how bone conditioning works. Yeah, so shout out there to Brian Keane. We'll have a look, Brian. Oh, actually, let's have a look. Maybe we can look on Brian's channel now. Let's have a look. How do I go on there, Brian? Let's go on Brian now. Brian Keane. Hopefully, Brian, is it Brian Keane's Fitness? Oh no, that's someone else. There's another Brian Keane out there. Oh no. I don't know if you can post a link, Brian, or something. Maybe I can follow it. Yeah, I'll definitely check. We'll post a link because now on the live stream videos, it saves the live stream chat. So if you post a link, we'll be able to go back to it. Karen Fernandez says, hi sir, your vids are great and informative. Can you shed some self-defense ideas for people with physical challenges? Oh, that's an interesting one. Well, thanks. Thank you, Karen. Thanks, Karen. People with physical challenges. Well, do you know, that brings up a good point, is that we all think, is it Cameron? Karen. He says, no, not Karen, sorry. That brings up a good point. I've had it myself where Caron. Brian says he's not very savvy to put up a link, so I'll ask his wife to do it. Oh yeah, so Brian, go to your video. So look, we're going to get you doing it. We're going to get you doing it, bro. Look, go to your video. Okay, there's your video. That's one of mine. Go to your video, and then here is a thing that says share. Is it? Yeah. So click on share, and then just copy the link. Yeah. It might not be on a phone, but it'll be there somewhere. And then just copy the link, and then when you click on the comments tab in there, a little paste should come up, and just press paste, and I'll paste it in there. And I'm gonna have to remember the time that it pastes it in there. We'll take out the video. So definitely do that, and we can also check it out now. So actually, Caron Fernandez has raised a good point. He says, what about self-defense for people with physical challenges? Now, Caron raises a good point here. Now, I've experienced this myself, where you're face to face with someone, like in the real world, and you feel like you're capable and you're in control. And then something happens and you get injured. So with me, I got into like a wrestle with this guy in a hotel room, and then and we fell, and just by sheer, you will be surprised how much you will fall around in like a real, or can fall around in like a real fight with someone. And there's no shame in it, it's just what happens. Especially if you're in a room or an alley or whatever, and when you're putting your maximum force into some movements, someone's grabbing you in a way that you just couldn't have known. Anyway, we fell and my ankle popped out. So what Karen was saying is, what are self-defense ideas for people with physical challenges? Now, there's two things I always say here is that, I got a good experience that day of being like, oh yeah, I can handle this, to then being in a danger zone where my left ankle's popped out and dislocated on the inside. So it rolled in. It didn't even roll out. It actually felt the joint go like pop. And then luckily, because I'm flexible and I do my stances, when I stepped back as we fell, it like popped because the person's weight was on me. And then as I stepped back into a bigger stance to stop myself just falling over into a heap in the floor, which would have been unacceptable risk. Luckily, I was able to do it. My foot's popped back in. So it's popped back in for a number of reasons, because of flexibility, because of the strength of the tendon, and the surrounding muscle and everything like that, because of training basically, and luck, and a lot of luck. But I got unlucky, and then training meant my body was able to cope with it, and then I was able to control the situation. But getting to the point that Karen raised, it makes you think, well, shit, I thought I was in control of that situation, then my ankle popped out, and now I feel like I'm in deadly danger. So I've gone from 100% safe to deadly danger in a matter of seconds because of an unforeseen accident. And then there goes to another thing I always say about self-defense, not that it matters, I'm sure you guys know, is that if someone's going to get you, and I always say this to my mates, I say it to my brother, I say it to everyone, I say, when you're feeling your best and you're walking down the road and you're feeling like Rocky Balboa, is not when you will be attacked, in the street, in life, in whatever. It is not when someone will get you. There's a thumbs up on that one. Thank you. When the one day you're hobbling into work because you've bust your knee, or you've had freaking diarrhea and stomach pains the day before, and you've scraped yourself into work and you feel like crap, and you're on the train or this and that and the next thing, that's the day someone will come for you. It's just, I don't know why, guys, it is the way it works out. On your weakest day is when you will probably be attacked. You will never be walking down the road straight from the gym feeling like 10 men, from your karate class feeling like a legend, all alert, and bang, then this scenario of you getting attacked happens. It may do, but I'm generalizing here, but I'm saying in the Sod's law and the way it actually works is when you least expect it, when you feel like shit, when you've broken your arm, when you've injured your foot, and then taking it to Karon's point, what do you then do when you're a person who has a physical challenge or disability or something like that? But that's multifaceted. Who has the answer to that? There are videos out there, and you can, obviously it's something every individual has to work on with their own martial arts. If you've lost a limb or you're damaged in some way, you have to try your best to try and defend yourself, if that's your cup of tea. And then there's just the old things where, which is really not really effective, but it's a good idea to do, is that when you are training, but actually, no, it is a good idea to do when you are training, even if you're fully capable and able in every way, try training. Like, when you're doing your boxing bag, try one session or just a few minutes or whatever, where you try training literally on one foot. And I don't mean bouncing on one foot, but I mean try training with, one foot slightly off limped as if it's been injured, the front foot, then try the back foot, Try even, like something happened to me the other day. It's funny. I've been absolutely fine. And I guess because I've not been able to do that much training, I woke up the other day, and because I'm always in boots, so good point from Caron. Maybe I'm trailing into different areas of it here, but I woke up the other day and like I had really bad, like, plantar fasciitis, like heel pain, which I've never really had before. And even that, even that is like, then I got up, and I was like, oh shit, I felt really shitty because, I was like, I was like, man, I can barely walk, it's only like a little pain thing. But then, to going into Caron's point of, is there training or what's your self-defense advice for people with physical incapabilities or disabilities or whatever. So even if you're fit and able and everything, think broader and think further out the box. Even if you do have a known disability or inability, or if you're DKU and your right arm doesn't work anymore, think further than that as well, to hold on a minute. You can't think of everything, but hold on a minute. What if, have I thought about, and I know this goes into the realms of like training a bit too far or a bit too much, but if you want to think about it, if you genuinely want to have a think about it, don't think about it too hard, but in the course of your training, think about, oh shit, yeah, have I thought about training if my knee was out, if my ankle was out, if my elbows were out? What if like, I can't, I've hurt my feet, both feet, and I can't get much grounding, I can't use that floor generation power. What am I going to do then? Do I have a contingency for an injury if my leg gets shot, if a tendon gets cut in a knife situation? Because in a knife situation, guys, if this you probably know, but if this tendon gets hit, or any of these tendons get hit, your hand just goes like this, and it can't work. It does not work. So just think, do I have any other body weapons? Already I use this bone as a body weapon to hit. So I already know that if in the event that my hand got knocked out, so think about the parts of your hand. That's another reason I started doing like iron palm training, exploring Kung Fu, because I was really, years ago when I was doing karate, when I was doing Shotokan, back when I was like a young kid, prior to me even being 14 years old, I was into this idea of conditioning and the training. But back in my old not Kyokushin, back in my old Shotokan days, we learned a lot of the stuff, but we learned a lot of the things, but we only really trained fist and knife hand, and we didn't, because we were kids, we didn't condition it that much. So years later, when I wanted to start the conditioning, I used to condition other parts of my hands because other bits of my hands were out of commission. So, I used to punch with my knuckles. My training was a bit not as good as it is now. I'm not as refined. But the gist of it was there. And I was training a little bit too hard, but then I was a lot younger. I was in my mid to late teens. So I could have dialed it back and I would have got better results. But anyway, long story short, I used to injure my knuckles and stuff, not terribly. So I used to train the ridge hand, the palm, these bones, and that gave me a sense of what would happen if my hand got injured. And as it happens, within the course of my life and my working life in the police and stuff, I have had occasions where like I said, bits and pieces of me have been taken out. Not permanently, like popped ankles in wrestles, during the wrestles, cuts to the hand, and stuff like that put bits of you out of commission, or you like use too much force yourself on something and you like just cause a weird muscle injury. It's just weird shit that happens when you're actually, when two people are like, and you guys will know from BJJ and like wrestling as well, when two people are wrestling and actually fighting and going for it, you generate a lot of elastic force. it's a different kind of force and power that just seems to nail your muscles and stuff. So which is why it's great to train, your tendons, to train your full body in a powerful way, not just the muscles. And that's why stuff like qigong and stuff is also good. But anyway, sorry, Caron. It was a long answer. But yeah, self-defense ideas for people with physical challenges. Well, idea number one, if you don't have a physical challenge, think about what if you did. Yeah, think about if you just felt sick, your stomach was bad, your leg got nailed, anything that can possibly go wrong with you. Think about it and think about, can you continue? I mean, also you see our mate, what's his name? Taekwondo lad. Oh no, he's got such a big channel. Yeah, he seems like a nice guy too. I really felt sorry for him. I think he's better now. Oh shit! Do you know what? Apologies because it's late. I've forgotten the name of the channel. But it's he got tinnitus, didn't he? So yeah. So he had to cope with that. That's like a mental thing, and a physiological. But imagine that, you're at the top of your game of your taekwondo and you've got your big YouTube channel and everything like that, and for real self-defense and life, and then you get this tinnitus, this physiological problem. So it's not only that, it's medical, it's any given problem, an accident that can happen on the day during the fight. Then you've got physiological stuff that can get you, like, I've had like herniated discs in my back. Not being able to generate much power because of like sciatic pain from the disc wear. Not now. I mean, I've rehabbed it now. So many things can happen. Bad stomach problems, sicknesses. So yeah, it's a really good point by Caron. And then you go to someone like Caron says who actually has a physical challenge. I assume he means like a disability or some kind of physical challenge. That's difficult. But the main thing is, I would say, if someone does have a big physical disability or something, they just have to try and somehow work it into a positive. I don't know how they would do that, or have a force multiplier on them. Something that makes, a weapon of some kind, something that would make them feel safer, then be able to deal more physical damage, train with that, become a specialist in that, depending on what their capabilities are. I don't know, that is like a whole topic on its own, but a great point. I love to hear your guys' ideas on it. One of the guys here commented like, what are self-defense ideas for people with physical challenges? So I presume he meant, physical disabilities and stuff, but we took that a bit further because we were saying, well, you can be fully physical able, but during a fight you can get injured. You can break a hand, you can roll an ankle, then there's day-to-day stuff like sickness. And then I was saying how my opinion and my experience is that it's not the day, and this is something to remember in your sort of martial arts and life journey. It isn't the day where you've come from the dojo, you've come from the gym, and you feel like 10 men, that someone's going to attack you on the subway or what, and someone's going to try and have a go at you. It's the day where you've done like 3 hours of continuous classes, all different martial arts classes, or you're sick, or you feel like crap, or you've had a really bad time, and you've been at the top of your game, and now you're like, something happened to you and you feel shit, and you're walking down, bang, that's the day someone's gonna try and get you. That's the day. So that's where, do you know what, the only thing we have left on those days, has another thumbs up, thanks guys, the only thing you have left on those days is your warrior spirit. So I want to sound cheesy, so whatever you want to call it, your endurance, your heart, your will to survive. That is the only thing you have. And no matter what martial artists you train, no matter what martial arts you train, that's why I don't poo-poo stuff like the Bujinkan and this and that. And I put out videos defending traditional martial arts because I've met fighters or martial artists who train in like MMA and stuff like that, who don't have much of a warrior spirit at all. And I've met people in martial arts that most, the general narrative now, I've met people in Aikido, I've met people in Bujinkan, I've met people in old traditional jiu-jitsu, I've met people in those martial arts who have a proper warrior, but it's not all everyone. It's, one guy here, one guy there, one guy there. But I've met people in those arts who have a true warrior fighting spirit. Maybe a bit like my story, they've come into the martial arts game, they've always done it, and they're on a weird path, maybe they're training a martial art you don't agree with or something, but that's it. It almost doesn't matter what martial art you do, because the only thing left when the chips are down is your fighting spirit. And that gets tested in the ring, which is cool for MMA and Muay Thai. And that's why obviously you'll get effective fighters and effective people in those systems, because the people with the true warrior spirit are going to be the ones representing those systems. Everyone's got that will to fight. But then even some of them, when they get injured or when they start to get knocked out or when they get hit or whatever, your metal gets tested, and when your brain and your body, and I've been there, when your brain is wanting to give up and it's actually telling you like, oh no, I think I've had enough now, but you keep going. And I mean that in a fight, then that's warrior spirit. So that's, I think that's something for anyone with a physical disability or whatever to take home, is that if your freaking fighting spirit is strong enough, you needn't consider yourself to have an inability or a disability or whatever, because the strength of human spirit is a great and powerful thing. The strength of human spirit to survive, to succeed, to break boundaries, it's unbelievably, unfathomably powerful. So just remember that, remember that no matter what thing is wrong with you. Surviving, even your day-to-day crap, I spoke about this before, even your day-to-day mental crap, or just surviving in general is it's enough of an achievement these days, and actually in general. So, but no, awesome point. Now let's see, we've got some more comments here. Nitin, what is that? Nitin Godio. How do I check my fist is weak or not? Oh, Nitin, I don't know, mate. It depends what you want to do with it, but most likely, if you have to ask the question, is my fist weak? It could be stronger. So you are not weak. Inherently, people are strong. You're tougher and more durable than you know. So don't think that you're weak, okay? Because you're not. No one is weak, yeah? Just like I was saying, you might never have done any martial arts in your life, but you are intrinsically a warrior. You have been evolved. You have been evolving for hundreds of thousands of years to be a survivalist and a human being, even though the modern day is trying to strip us of that. But you can be better. That's what Iron Body Martial Arts is about. That's what your martial arts journey should be about. And I've said this to a lot of people. It's like, sometimes I get caught up in it, but I've stopped caring about what other people do compared to me, because you end up going mad. You see this person, you see that person, you look on Instagram, you do whatever, and you're just like, man, all these people, they're so good. I'm so crappy, and maybe today, you've had a cup of tea and you feel a bit sick and you don't train and this and that, and you're like, just focus on trying to make yourself better each day by doing something. And something is always better than nothing. You guys don't need me to tell you that. You're all martial artists, you train, but we can speak about it here in the open. So don't take it as me telling you, but we're talking about it. Something is better than nothing. That's what my training focus is on this channel. It's just being a better version of yourself. So Nitin Gondiel, how do you check if your fist is weak? Well, if you need to ask the question, you could be stronger. But you're already strong, but you could be stronger. All right. So get training, get checking. Is my fist weak? Well, do you hit stuff? Do you need to hit stuff? What do you want? I don't know. There's so many questions there. Carol Fernandez says, thanks for answering and sharing your experiences. Those were some insights. Thanks, Carol. Nitin Gunyal says he punched a guy and broke his pinky. Mate, boxer's fracture, bro. There's no shame in the old boxer's fracture. It's called the boxer's fracture for a reason. It happens to a lot of people. It can happen to the best of us. You have to talk to people. You see people like Baz Rutten, and brawler, tough guy, pancreas expert. People move in a different way, and you catch your knuckle. I heard Baz Rutten talking about it just the other day. He was throwing a punch at someone in some kind of brawl, and they just moved, because that's the thing. People just do stuff that you don't think they will do when in a real fight. And Baz said the guy moved, and instead of being here where he would have been tense, the guy's head was here. He thought it was there, and he was like that, boom, and broke. So yeah. But that goes around to our first thing of putting yourself out of commission and still being able to do something. Yeah, so that's why in Kung Fu or in traditional martial arts or in your martial arts, remember to train the other, and that's what I guess this channel is about, is training the other parts of your body so you've got a chance. You're training the head, training the neck, you're training not just the knuckles of your hand, you're training the sides of your hands, you're training the top of your hands, you're training these bones here. Man, these bones, thumbs up from there, thanks guys. These bones here are devastating weapons. They're like shins. Like everyone knows in Muay Thai that shins are powerful. But there's not everyone knows how powerful these bones are. Here they're the same. They're like shin, they're forearms, but they're like shin bones right there. Man, you can bust loads of stuff with these things, mess people up if they don't train their shins or their bones and their arms. Great thing. Easy training method, twin locks, 72 secret arts of the Shaolin, because this is a pressure point here, and this is very weak. It's not weak, but there's a pressure point there, so it's painful but twin locks, 72 secret arts of the Shaolin, all you need to do is every day you just tap. Yeah? So when you try it might not make the bone sound, and it might hurt like hell, and you don't need to worry about the bone sound, so just don't think about the bone sound, just tap. Just every day in your journey. That's what I do. I don't do as much these days because I've done it a lot, but every day in my journey I'll just be just tapping. Yeah, just no, don't put effort or force into it, just tap. And honestly, that is literally all you need to do. Now, the first couple of days you do it or whatever, it's gonna hurt like hell. Put some. Don't bruise yourself too much. Just do it. Just do it gentle, and you can rub them. It's the bone though, hey. It's not the muscle here. Yeah. So you just do that gentle tap, 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 tap. Yeah. And unfortunately, guys, like all kung fu, it's something that you'll have to do like a couple of times a day, for at least at least 3 months or something. But after 3 months, after a couple of weeks, you'll see a lot of progress. After 3 months or so, your wrist bone here will be tough. Yeah, tough enough to start doing some good damage as a self-defense tool, you know. So then you've got a fist, and you've also got a nice baton here, you know, to check stuff, you know, nice and relaxed as well. You know, when you're not like this tense, just nice and relaxed, you know, checking, boom, just as if the same as a shin. Then the next stage of the technique is, I wasn't going to really go into conditioning stuff, but the next stage of the technique is that you just then use those tough bones to train the other bits. So twin locks works the same, a bit like mantis style training, where you train bone on bone with your partner. So it's the same. You strike the bones of the back, bones of the hand, bone of the hand, bone of the hand, bone there, and then you strike your shins as well. Yeah. And by this point, when you're using your forearm bone to strike your shins, which are a lot thicker and denser than your forearm bone because they're on your legs, you're then again conditioning them even more and strengthening them even more. And that's the way it works. It just goes on and on. And you'll go forward in progress and you'll go backwards in progress. You'll get plateaus, but just keep treading that path. And then that's what I like about the 72 Secret Arts of the Shaolin skills. And then you literally, like this imaginary Shaolin monk that we all have in our minds, one day you'll be going about your peaceful business. Maybe you'll be sick like we've been talking about. Maybe it'll be that day that you feel like crap and you don't feel very muscularly powerful, but intrinsically you've trained this little thing amongst others, and someone will mess with you on that day and you'll just be like, wow, boom, you know, you'll hit them, you'll check a kick and you'll just nail their leg or bust their arm, or someone will come at you with something and you'll hit them with this forearm, boom, in the neck, it'll just knock them out, stun them, or even severely damage their arm because you've been training yours. And that, you know, but you almost won't put too much effort into it, like you will, but you won't consciously notice because you're just building it up in the background. It's like strength, you know, you don't consciously notice strength all the time. You know, sometimes you're just stronger, and you know, there's people who are just stronger, you know, like a big rugby player guy, just, you know, he's not consciously all the time like, oh, I'm so big and strong. Well, some are with their egos, but you know, anyway, you get the point I'm trying to make. Let's go back to some comments. Okay, what have we got here? Caron Fernandez, who raised his first point, says he has hypermobility and loose ligaments, also rheumatoid arthritis, but he looks normal and healthy. Hypermobility and loose ligaments. Well, that's cool, because doesn't that, well, I don't know if that's cool, but doesn't that mean you're very, Caron would be very flexible? I always say lengthen and strengthen. So in flexibility is inherently there is strength. But I guess if you can be over flexible, I suppose, and then you start dislocating joints quite easily, in which case you have to just try and strengthen the muscles more. Try and get them pulling the tendons, because the tendons will be a set size. They're very slow to do anything, tendons. So if your tendons are hypermobile and they're already that long, yeah, it's difficult for Caron there, man. Hypermobility. And yeah, rheumatoid, damn, man. Rheumatoid's heavy, bro. Because my wife has like a rheumatoid condition in her left ankle, but it also, you know, exists in the body. So it just causes so much pain and stuff. And yeah, it's that mental warrior thing, you know, it's that mental spirit that you have to try and cultivate. And we know how tough it is. Obviously I don't know what it's like to have rheumatoid arthritis. But from my wife's point of view, you know, it's every day is a struggle. I've in the past herniated my back, my lower disc. And I remember, because I was in my early 20s, and I picked up a bag of sugar, and I could feel it on my back, as if it was like 25 kilo sack. I was like, oh, like sharp stabbing pain. I had 5 years of that disability, not disabling pain, but I had 5 years of that pain. You know, everyone knows, like you guys know, America's sciatica. It's terrible, debilitating. That's it. Mentally, psychologically. My ex-wife, I used to walk around. My ex-wife used to be like, she used to have a go at me. You know, you're not listening to me. You're not here. You're not present in the moment. And I just like look at her and be like, look, I'm not present in the moment because I'm just in pain all the time, 24/7. I go to sleep, it doesn't stop because if you guys know sciatica or nerve pain, it's just there all the time, just like arthritis, I guess. So you go to sleep, the pain's there. You wake up, the pain's there. It's this constant drain on your mental and your physiological immune system. It's just constant background chatter. So yeah, it's tough. Yeah, luckily I managed to rehab that away, and that's covered. I mean, that's covered in my channel. During the early days of my channel, I had those issues, but you wouldn't really know it or see it. I've probably mentioned it in a few videos because I've done a few back rehab videos, but you wouldn't know it or see it from my channel. But I was there. The pain was there. But I just kept training. The doctors and stuff say, you'll be, and the chiropractors and stuff, you'll be immobile. You have to always come and do this chiropractoring and this and that. And I was like, nah, I'm just going to train super flexibility, do my yoga exercises, do the physio exercises that they give you, and just keep smashing my martial arts in a clever way. And hopefully I will be able to rid myself of this sciatic pain and this joint, this disc bulge. Luckily just bulged, like herniated, not ruptured, because then obviously you can't fix that. And yeah, 5 years it took though. And now I've still got it, but I don't have it nowhere near as bad, nearly gone. It's great. I also got inner soles for my shoes, that helped too. But anyway, sorry, carry on. Not about me. We were talking about you. So, Brian says, when I get to band practice today, I'll ask one of the band members to help the YouTube person like me to get ahead, erase my videos, my comments, my likes, or for preaching unity stage. Oh, YouTube. YouTube erased Brian's videos, comments, and likes. Oh, you for preaching unity. Oh, no. Yeah, you got to watch that, man. YouTube can nail you. Oh, Batman Matrix, excellent. Batman Keith. A blast from the past there, Batman Keith. Yeah, thanks, Batman. I got this nice little mic thing that going here. So, I mean, the video might not be the greatest because one, I'm live streaming it, and two, it's on my pad. The phone, I usually use the phone, but the phone at the moment doesn't work with this. But the pad's good. It's one of these Samsung pads. Yeah, Brian says YouTube messes with him. Caron says he's too flexible and lacks stability, highly prone to injuries like tearing ligaments, getting dislocated. What you said is right about strengthening the stabilizers and the tendons. Yeah, Caron, that's the only thing I can think of. Oh, he says he works out with light weights and some body weights. I look as muscular, but guys are surprised that I'm weak. And I do get bullied over my insecurities as they aren't aware of such conditions. Caron. Oh shit, man. And I suppose with the rheumatoid, conditioning, like you say, you're in pain, you've got the rheumatoid, then conditioning and stuff like that is probably not something that you want to be doing yourself. Because I would say that is a way, again, of strengthening the body up. But You probably don't want to be striking yourself and hitting your joints more and causing issues like that. One thing I would look into then personally is, for yourself, is you can get some, Joe, some Chinese medicines, but you can get like herbal like tendon tonics and stuff like that, which are just herbs, like packs of herbs that are good for like the tendons and good for inflammation and good for rheumatoid. So if you haven't explored those avenues, it'd probably be worth exploring those. That'd probably be worth a look at. Sorry, my eyes are looking pretty red here. It's because I've got this damn light behind the camera here. It just shines into your eyes and burns your irises out. And that's for YouTube there. Without it, everything just looks dull. And the camera, the light, the more light you have on the camera, the better the picture. Because you guys know how it works. But yeah, some good points. Some good points there. I started just with a few viewer comments on stuff on videos of mine, but went into some good points raised by Caron, which was, there's all this great martial arts advice and stuff for like all these fit and able super martial artsy people, but what about people, you got a bit of a disability, you got a sickness, you got a this, you got a that. What about, he said self-defense advice. We looked at it from a couple of different angles. It's like, well, you can be fit and able, you can get a chronic injury, an illness, you can just be sick on a particular day. That's the day that someone's likely to freaking mess with you and try and get you. Then we talked about, like with Caron here, rheumatoid problems, insecurities because of the rheumatoid and just feeling not his strongest self. But the one thing that we all share in common is our sort of fighting spirit, the human spirit. Now, I would suggest if you're someone like Caron, even if you say you've got insecurities, if you're dealing with the chronic illness, constant pain, and these hurdles in your life, you're already more resilient. You already have a stronger spirit than you think you have, because you're doing so much more. You're doing so much more than your average Joe is, just to be at base normal level functioning. Yeah, you got the chronic pain, the this, the that, just to get out the door, to start to do some stuff. So keep that thing alive. Of like, hold on a minute, I'm succeeding here, even by doing, and I'm not trying to be, because I apply this to myself, certainly in the past and now, in a different way, but just to do the same as someone else is doing, you're putting in that extra effort, so you're already succeeding in that way. You're already, that should be looked at as a positive, even though it feels like a negative, and it's hard, so keep that bit alive and just think, well, hold on a second, no, maybe I didn't achieve this today, and maybe I didn't do as good as that guy, and maybe I did, but I'm here, I'm at the table, I've got my knife and fork, I'm chowing down, I'm here. Screw you, I'm here. That's all I need to do. Better yourself. Better yourself every day. Now you don't have to better yourself every day. Don't listen to this crap that I'm saying. If you don't better yourself every day, it's fine as well. But what I'm saying is that's the ethos that we try to train to. Don't train to other people's standards unless you want to. Just if things are getting tough, just look in on yourself and be like, you know what? I'm just going to be a better version of myself today by doing one thing. If I do a million things, great. Anyway. Brian says, Caron, if you want to strengthen your ligaments, maybe try isometrics or hanging from pull-up bar or a pole or anything that may help. Good luck with your journey. Yeah, that's a good point. Static training may be good for you, Caron. Like also like yoga, static training like yoga style holding postures or static qigong and things like hanging and holding. I'm no sports scientist, but it's certainly worth giving it a try. Holding weights and holding a posture with what's the word? With stress postures, wall sits, warrior pose 1 and 2, horse stance, holding weights out to the front, holding weights out to the side. That's removing the movement that possibly, I guess, can sort of aggravate the osteo. And it's just because Chinese Kung Fu places a lot of importance and a lot of gravity on static muscular tension power that can be developed through standing postures and things like that, which is good. One other thing I would say for Caron as well, but I'm no medical expert or whatever, is have you tried, because we were talking about how into next year, I'm not going to ruin this year for everyone, but we were talking about how next year I'm going to sort of start a program and do like a follow along because we have a theme every year. But next year's theme is going to be, initially, amongst other things, going to be like internal health. So it's going to be like Qigong, but diet and fasting and lifestyle and stuff like that. So one thing I've been doing, which helped my stomach and helped myself for the last bit of half of this year, was I've been doing 24-hour fasts. And I had to gear it to myself, had to sort of learn about it and do it and try things. But I've been doing 24-hour fasts to and I haven't been doing them to lose weight or anything like that. I've been doing it to rejuvenate my body because I had a lot of digestive issues. So for Caron, that's certainly something we can maybe look into the start of this next coming year, doing some fasts. You can try some 24-hour fasts if you're able to, because they're meant to help with all kinds of inflammation and immune system issues and stuff like that. I had a guy at work the other day who, just in passing, he came to work, he had really bad skin, he had stomach problems, and he was telling me how shit it was. And in passing, I just said to him, "Oh well, mate, you should try 24-hour fasts, because I've been doing 24-hour fasts and they really helped me. They literally nearly cured me of all my problems. Oh, and drink filtered water. Don't drink the chlorinated tap water for one. Drink filtered water from your tap. That's a small thing." But he was like, "Oh yeah," and he was like, "What are you talking about?" I told him about it. I told him what to do, and I literally seen him 2 months later. He came to the station I work at, and he was like, "Man, I did those 24-hour fasts, and I'm like a different person." And he seemed like a different person. His eyes were bright and shiny. His skin was fine. He was like, "I don't have any more problems with what the stuff I'm eating. I don't feel like crap." And he's then gone and looked into it more and more, and he's gone off on his own tangent of discovery, which is great. He knows more about it, than I do now, on paper. So it's definitely something we can all look into. But I don't know how much everyone would want to join in on that. So will we be doing the Qigong? Will someone do that? Will they want to do the fasting? Give it a try. It's only one day a week or less. Are they capable? Are they medically capable? Once again, you're stronger than you think you are. But yeah, if you're interested in that, keep an eye out on the channel. Keep an eye. I'm not sure whether I'm going to do a bit more with the Patreon guys, or have to do it over on the Patreon. The link's here to the Patreon on the blurb for this video, or any of my other videos. But yeah, we'll see, because I want a group of people. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, what do we got? But that was a good one from Brian, saying that if Karen wants to strengthen his tendons, try isometrics. Oh shit, I'm gonna have to go to bed soon. I've got to probably be up early with the baby. Caron says, thanks sir, I'm feeling okay these days. Thankfully I can work out now and don't have to rely on meds. That's awesome. Karen's, how's your wife now? Thanks Brian, but hanging is not good for people with loose ligaments as it takes the joints away further. Oh yeah, good point. They stretch. Okay, oh, we learnt something there. Yeah, unfortunately my wife still has issues with the inflammation and stuff. She's on that methotrexate drug, which is like, like it suppresses your immune. But that's another thing with her. In the new year, I've said, right, that's it. You're gonna do the fasts as well. We're gonna try and see if we can just get the inflammation down, because it worked for me internally, in a different way. But all the literature that I read about it says that it should work for all other kinds of inflammation and chronic fatigue issues and all sorts of things. So we'll see. Okay, excellent points. That's trippy. I wonder what happens if I click on my own stream on another phone. Does it come up? Will the universe explode? What will happen? It's kind of like I don't even want to press it, because I'm running it on this channel, and that is my channel on here. So this is Iron Body Martial Arts, this is Iron Body Martial Arts. And if I press it to live, then what happens? I'm really, like when you get the big red button, I'm now really tempted to try and press it and see what happens. I just don't know. Someone knows. Oh, go on, I'm going to press it. Oh. Oh. That's so creepy. Oh yeah, don't look too bad. Alright, that's creeping me out now. Yeah, there we go. Oh, well, there we go. Yeah. So, Christmas is coming up, and I know the last couple of videos we've been doing is the iron staff, and everyone's probably going to trail off for Christmas now because we're so close to Christmas. So do give yourself a chance to rest, trail off, have a bit of a relax. Generally in like Kung Fu training syllabuses or whatever, there's a 2-week period or a week period. I can't remember, it changes with every different school, but there's usually a 2-week period a couple of times a year where people will stop training and just have like a rest and give their body some time to recover. So don't feel too bad. But if you've been doing too much resting, then get to the gym or the dojo, keep training. Keep training. I got lucky because I got near enough like 2 weeks off work. Rare over Christmas for me. Very rare. I've never had it before over the Christmas period. I've barely even had Christmas Day off ever, or New Year, in the last 12 years. I think I've had 2 or 3 in 12 years, which probably isn't that bad. But yeah, now I've got Christmas. I've got 2 weeks leading up to Christmas and Christmas Day off, which is why you've seen me on here, because I've actually had a little bit of extra time. So that's good. Alright. That was a few comments there. I guess that's probably come to its end there. Well, again, thanks to maybe not, we'll see what happens. Often I say that and then it just carries on. But yeah, look, thanks to the Patreon guys who support the Patreon thing, and just, I've said it once again, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Often that little bit of extra support from the Patreon people has like helped me pay a bill. Which is cool. I know I work full time, and probably the people excuse me, probably some of the people who are supporting on the Patreon, they do different jobs. They may not even work full time. They may be I'm not hard up for cash. I'm just a regular working guy, as much cash as any regular working guy does, or any cop would have. But yeah, it is appreciated, because a lot of the time, a little bit of the Patreon support, it has helped me, like, on a particular month pay a bill or something like that. And it literally has been that helpful. So I thank those guys, because it builds up. It builds up. You know how it is come the end of the month, or come close to payday or something, or the other day our washing machine broke, and just like this thing hits you, that thing hits you, your washing machine breaks, and then you're just like, man, where am I gonna get this like extra $100 that I need, or extra $50 or whatever, and you go, oh, actually, hold on a minute, you go into, well, for me, luckily, I go into Patreon, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's been sitting there it takes ages to build up, but it's been sitting there for ages, and you're like, oh yes, so thanks a lot to those guys. Also, the Iron Body Martial Arts Iron Hand course, do check it out on udemy.com. There's links on the blurb to this video. It's actually really well rated now, so everything on that course is on the channel here for free. You can find it. Yeah, my organization's not that good, so all the stuff you need to do it's on the channel, but you'll have to surf for it. But if you don't want to surf for it, you can check out the Iron Body Martial Arts Iron Hand course, and it's the best syllabus so far that I've put together. I was trying to do a syllabus for Patreon, but it became difficult. But there is one on there too. But the Iron Hand course is the best, most concentrated syllabus that I've put together, with all multifaceted training ideas for your iron skills. So the strength, the tendon strength, the muscle strength, the bone strength, the flexibility and conditioning, and just some medical Chinese medicine style stuff. Just a lot of good stuff. So have a check out of that if you haven't already. Which reminds me, I'll probably do a sale on that after Christmas, finally. Because I keep wanting to do a sale, then I feel bad on the people who've just bought it. So I'm like, okay, I'll leave it off. We'll do a sale on it, and we'll do some links on the videos here so people can get it for a bit cheaper as a New Year's present. But okay, guys, look, thanks a lot for tuning in and supporting the live streams, even if I recognize like some of the names. But yeah, thanks a lot for tuning in, putting your comments, sending your comments on my videos. I'll try and respond to a few more. I've got loads to catch up on. But yeah, awesome. So yeah, remember, have a happy Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, or just a break if you don't celebrate Christmas. I know, I said it before, but come Christmas time, sometimes people remember sadness, because we can remember, it's a happy time, but for a lot of people it's a sad time, as you remember like family that's not there. My family's broken up through a couple of deaths and stuff like that. So, but I've got what I've got, and I'm grateful for that. And you lose people along the way, and it's just the way it goes, unfortunately. There's plenty of people a lot more unfortunate than me in that regard. So I don't know. Just know, I want to say, try not to dwell on the negatives of loss or whatever over Christmas, and try and see stuff anew and try and have some joy. But I know that's difficult. So just try and know that there are people out there like me, like everyone else, like your mates, who know if you're in that zone, yeah, we do know what you're thinking, we do know what you're going through a little bit, maybe not all, because some people got it real bad, but just know there's that little spark of hope. Put something forward in the new year that you're going to do, just don't let negativity get you down, and don't judge yourself on, you don't have to listen to the shit that I'm saying, but don't judge yourself on always what the other people are doing. Just try and just do some betterment for yourself, do some betterment for yourself. If you're, you know, this YouTube and social media and the television, social media is a big culprit for it, you know, leads everyone to believe, and youngsters, and tricks us slightly older people as well into thinking that this is the world here, you know, where this is the world out here, yeah? This is not the world. I'm just saying to you guys, I'm not telling you, you know this is not the world, this is the world. It doesn't matter what anyone in here thinks, really, nothing, you know, but try and sort this shit out, if you can. Brian's name. Brian says, everyone have a great day or night. Brian Keane, wherever you are, blessings and love from America. Yeah, man, well, thanks, yep. And same goes to all you guys out there. Yeah, if anyone needs to like reach me, send me a message. You know, I've had a couple of people over the last couple of years just send me a message and just, you know, just be like, you know, Brett, you know, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I feel this, I feel that, I've got no one to chat to, I've got no one to reach out to, I just wanted to say hey, and, you know, and then I've had a chat with them, you know, so, you know, so don't, if you've got no one to chat to, just chuck me a line. If I've got the time, I'll make time if someone needs it. But yeah, with all the COVID stuff, I hope everyone's okay with the COVID. And but anyway, hopefully you guys will see me again before Christmas. But if I don't see you, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and all that. Keep training, good training. And do let me know how your guys' training is going. And again, thanks for supporting the videos and channel, even if it's a couple of people. It's I guess this is like my remedy. You know, although I said this is not the world, this is the world. You know, my world out here is nice. You know, I've got my little family here. I've got work, but it's cool to see some other people from around the world, special martial arts community. You know. When you're a bit isolated from various martial arts communities, if you're in a remote area of whichever country you're in. Caron says, have a good time here. Wish you guys happy holidays. Alright guys, well thanks a lot. And I'll catch you guys around. I'll just go to sleep because the baby's probably gonna wake me up soon. Look at that face. Here he is. Yeah, alright. See you guys.